Hello and welcome again to Melbourne Ballpark. Game 3 in the Melbourne Challenge coming up very shortly. I'm Ed White alongside Rob Novotny. The Aces and the Giants ready to go here on a Sunday afternoon. But before we get to that, little treat for you. Rob, you got a chance to catch up with Aces manager Peter Moylan.
Yeah, he was fantastic. We had a nice chat in the locker room with some of the guys around. Just he's so excited about the difference he's making with the team and to be here to give back to the sport. Hope you enjoy the interview. It's fantastic.
Hey, Rob Novotny here with Peter Moylan. Really excited to spend a little time with you today, Pete, to reflect on the weekend. But probably first thing to get to is Genevieve Beacom. What a night last night. She made her first woman to play professionally here in Australia. Just fantastic. Tell us your take on things. And by the way, before you start, she made a point in her interview last night to talk about how much your support meant to her. Yours, so please talk about the experience.
I had no choice but to include her in this because of she was the first person that I saw throwing a bullpen when I got here in the country. First training session that I saw was Genevieve throwing a bullpen, and I was shocked because I'd met her before at a younger age when she came through Kansas City. We were in Baltimore, I was in Kansas City, she came to the dugout with an Australian team. I met her then. Never got a chance to see her pitch, and that was the first time I saw her pitch, and I was pleasantly surprised, and then it continued to develop from there, and yeah, as I said to most people that ask, she's on this team because she's in the best 25 players that I've seen in Victoria. So it's an exciting time to be around, and it's not. The story is obviously the fact that she's the first woman to pitch professionally in Australia, but it's more than that because she deserves to be here based on her talent, not just her gender or sex.
Yeah, where do you think she could go with this? It's tough to project, of course.
Yeah, I honestly think it's as far as she wants to take it. I think the opportunities are going to come because, as I said, it's not just. The story isn't just that she's a girl, it's that she's a pitcher. And she's got off-speed stuff, she's got knowledge of how to throw a baseball, how to pitch to people, what pitch sequencing is, how to pick guys off, how to hold runners. It's those little baseball things that even guys at that age struggle with, that she's just got the intelligence and the baseball IQ to get through an inning like last night, a leadoff error, wild pitch, first pitch, leadoff error, another ground ball, chance for a double play. To get her to experience all that in your first outing and get through that scoreless shows me everything I need to know.
Yeah, and her physicality, her levers, her build. I just watched Grant Lloyd walk into the room, and it just was reminiscent, you know.
So I've had multiple messages this morning talking about her mechanics from multiple baseball people, high up in organisations, high up in media, high up all over the place, talking about her mechanics and her delivery and how crisp she looks. So. You know, it's an exciting time for her. Probably going to be a bit overawed by it all initially, but I think she's going to take it all in stride because, I mean, I've now had the chance to speak to her on multiple occasions, and she just takes it all in stride and just accepts it for what it is.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
Great stuff there, Rob. He really is a pretty unique guy, and I should mention you can see the rest of that interview on the Aces socials this coming week. Now, the series has been split so far, 2-1 win for the Aces on Friday night. Tables were turned last night, 7-1 win for Adelaide. But there was a bigger story last night, Rob, involving a young phenom, a pitcher.
Yes, 17-year-old Genevieve Beacom making her debut with the Aces, and gosh, she got in a little trouble early with an error, not of her fault, and then she pitched her way out of it. I think it really shows her maturity, and just to sum up what Graham Lloyd said in the interview, she belongs, and last night she showed it here in Melbourne, and indeed, many around the world are saying the same thing. Talk us through that inning that you threw a little bit. What was the experience like?
When I got out there, I just wanted to shut down the runs. They had some momentum, and my goal was to just stop the run scoring, so yeah.
But there have probably been a lot of coaches or people in your family who've made a difference in your life to help you get to this place. Would you like to thank some of them or talk about some of who those people are?
Definitely, all of my coaches have helped me reach some kind of level and pushed me to be a better player, but my brother's definitely been there since day one, since I started playing baseball. He's been my biggest inspiration, as he always played, and he's the reason I got into it, so definitely him, and just Pete for giving me this opportunity, and Shanna's, just every coach I've ever had, I could thank them. It's just amazing.
What a story, what a name, Genevieve Beacom, don't forget it. Game 3 in the Melbourne Challenge coming up right now. Beautiful day at the ballpark, Melbourne Ballpark in Melbourne, Victoria, for Game 3 of the Melbourne Challenge. My name is Ed Wyatt. Thank you for joining us. Alongside me for the first few innings, Rob Novotny. Rob, how are you? Enjoying this, aren't you?
What a great weekend of baseball, Ed. Just fantastic. Great environment out here, and yeah, it gets back to the kids, doesn't it? What a weekend to get these young people out here, get them playing.
Yeah, it's a great point, isn't it? We talked about this. There have been some COVID issues and trying to get these rosters together. There are no import players, obviously. So there have been a lot of young kids called up from the local leagues in both Victoria and South Australia, and they really have delivered. I mean, we've seen, not to beat a drum, I'm going to be accused of trying to be his agent or his manager, but Darcy Berry for Adelaide, 3 for 6, made some great plays at shortstop. Jack Partington with arguably the play of the series in center field. And then the Aces kids with a nice fight back in the 9th inning of a 7-0 game.
Yeah, I was just down there getting ready to interview Genevieve last night, and just watching, everybody was on the railing, everybody was into it. It was just, they weren't here to quit. The opportunity, it wasn't about a result. It was about the opportunity to play, an opportunity to fight, and to prove what they can do as professional baseball, or in a professional baseball environment. And yeah, again, I'll probably say it again. Thank you to the city of Melbourne. Thank you to Victoria, the Aces for finding a way to put this on, and Adelaide for traveling out, because we get to see this, and we're actually pushing the next generation of baseball forward and mentoring them, as Peter was talking about in the interview earlier. Opportunities don't happen just like this out of thin air. It's a lot of commitment and effort, and again, thanks to our partners in Victoria and Melbourne for making that happen too.
This is Game 3. Aces won the first game. Adelaide won the second game. We'll get ready for the national anthem and join you right after that.
I have a sun visor on my telescope, so it's really hard to see the sun. I still might need to.
Beautiful day here in Melbourne. First night was rainy. Rain delayed game, in fact. Yesterday was pretty solid, but today is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful Melbourne summer day. Do need to mention this is a 7-inning game. There is a bit of a curfew for Adelaide to get a flight out of here. That's very common in the Australian Baseball League if you're just joining us for the first time. So only 7 innings tonight. Aces lineup pretty much the same. In fact, it is the same as yesterday. Darryl George at third, Jared Cruz at shortstop, Sam Skinner, the youngster, at second, and Jack Barry, who's done a really nice job over at first. The outfield, all youngsters. Bronson Neve in left, Aiden Willis in center, and Nick Bertucci in right. Kyle Perkins is behind the plate. And on the mound, again, another veteran, Stephen Chambers. He's a 31-year-old who last pitched for Canberra in the 2019-2020 season. He's a 10-year ABL veteran. Played with Brisbane, Canberra, and Adelaide career. 14 and 17 record, 5.68 ERA. Best year, Rob, back in 2015-16, where he was 8-1 for Adelaide. So he definitely can pitch, and we saw that yesterday from a couple of the starters. So Adelaide or Melbourne would be looking to have some good innings out of him this afternoon.
Yeah, indeed. And pitching's a bit short, so hopefully they can lengthen him out a little bit as well. We were talking about the young kids before. I think the guy keeps sticking with me. It's Bertucci in right field. He made a couple great throws, particularly on that ball, that double that should have been an easy double, and somehow he caught it on one hop, turned and threw a laser beam to second base and made it a somewhat close play. And he had another great throw from the outfield as well. Now I think your favorite Darcy Berry's going to be out there again for Adelaide. He's done some good stuff, too.
He's doing really well. We'll go through that lineup right now. It's 2 changes. Partington leads off, the center fielder. Rickson Wingrove, the left fielder, is second. Mitch Edwards, the catcher, is third. Donald Lutz at first again is cleanup. Wade McConnon, who impressed yesterday, 2 for 5. Then Mitch Lightbody and Liam Bull come back in. Max Stagg and Darcy Berry, who hitting 500, 3 for 6 in this series, ready to go. Baseball on a Sunday afternoon at Melbourne Ballpark. First pitch to Partington outside. Partington 1 for 7 on the series, but has made some beautiful plays. As we mentioned, the play of the series off Darryl George yesterday in center field on the warning track. Grounded to George at third, stays in play. Darryl throws to first, 1 away.
Small detail there, but I really liked how Darryl came up and got that ball, too. Didn't give it a chance to go foul. He went and got it to get the out. He knew there was an out to get.
Now Rickson Wingrove, the big hitting left fielder, 2 for 6 on the series. Had a big hit yesterday in that 5th inning that really blew the game open. He and Lutz, who bat fourth, both delivered 2-run singles.
Almost carbon copies of each other. The 2 big left-handers, 2 runners, a runner on second and third in both cases.
We talked about that, not wanting to, give up a walk or something and face these guys. That's exactly what happened. That one's lined into right center field. That's going to be at least 1, potentially 2. Wingrove rounding second. Willis up with it. Throw in, not in time. Stand-up double for Rickson Wingrove. He's a very, very good hitter. We've talked about him throughout the series. Wingrove, the 21-year-old in the Phillies organization, playing at Sturt in Adelaide, but this guy's a prospect, no doubt about it. Here's Mitch Edwards, the catcher, 2 for 5 across the series, on base 3 times yesterday. Earned a couple of walks and a hit.
Yeah, scored a run as well.
Yep.
We're getting right to the action here, hey?
Just thinking that myself. We've had some pretty fast first few innings. And it's the outside corner.
Yeah, Jeff Dunn with the call there. By the way, the umpires today, we got Jeff Dunn behind the plate, Neil Poulton at first, Ian Revell at second base, and Casey Cook at third.
Two quick strikes on Edwards. Want to get the out here. Don't want him on base with Lutz coming up next. 0-2 pitch outside. You can see
good
Perkins
miss.
Trying to frame that, but a little bit too hard work to frame that one.
Hard to take, but yeah, definitely a ball.
1-2 pitch. Sharply down first. Great play by Jack Berry. He'll take it himself. 2 down. Runner moves along to third, but that prevented a run. He continues to flash that leather at first.
He's a rugged ball player, too. No undershirt, a couple buttons undone, shaggy hair in the back, and he's going through slippery puddles in the first night. He's making diving for balls. Here's another diving play. Gutsy ball player, like that character on our ball club.
Yeah, he's a real old-time looking, acting, playing baseball player, no doubt about it. 2 down brings up Donald Lutz, 1 for 7 in the series, but again, that big hit yesterday driving a couple of runs.
I notice we're not shifting against him now.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about that yesterday. If you're looking at the field, George was way over towards third. Maybe they're looking at keeping the runner close. That's hit well into right field. Back goes Bertucci. It's gone. We talked about his power, and Donald Lutz delivers, and just like that, Adelaide takes a 2-0 lead. Donald Lutz delivering like we thought he might. He has been pretty quiet until yesterday, and certainly nothing quiet about that one, Rob.
No. Well, if you're going to give him up in the first inning so you know what hill you got to climb back up.
That's a very optimistic way of looking at it. Here's Wade McConnon.
He did well last night.
He did, 2 for 5. Played well in the field as well. So gets the start again at second base.
Yeah, look, a few other guys got an opportunity last night. Wade's one who kept the opportunity and stayed in for another night.
Outside, bounces back to the fence, 1-1.
And of course, tonight the Aces are in red, and Adelaide's in blue.
Yeah, flipping a lot of uniforms around this weekend. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. One ball, 2 strikes. Game 3 of the Melbourne Challenge. Aces won the first. Giants won the second. And this is for all the marbles. Nubber fouled into the Aces dugout. Count remains 1-2.
Might have been a little off the plate there, but couldn't take a chance. Had to protect it.
Yep.
And that's good. Memory serves, McConnell's at the Upway Club these days, so he's a Victorian player filling in for the Giants, as he did last year during the finals.
That's popped up. Should be playable by Jared Cruz, and it is. Makes the final out, but not before the Adelaide Giants get 2 runs on 2 hits. The big one, the 2-run home run by Donald Lutz. And the Aces have a little bit of work to do. Back with the bottom of the first after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Get some drama in your life with the Melbourne Arts Precinct in South Bank. It's home to Australia's highest concentration of art organisations, including the National Gallery of Victoria, Arts Centre Melbourne, Malthouse Theatre, Australian Centre for Contemporary Art, Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, and the Australian Ballet. In fact, the National Gallery of Victoria, the NGV, the oldest and most visited gallery in Australia, over 3 million visitors each year. Melbourne, what a city. And what a ballpark here.
Hey, and you know I'm a big fan of the NGV. I would recommend going and getting a beer or coffee out in that grassy area out the back, then going in and take a wander through to see the art. If you're trying to impress that special person in your life, go to the NGV. It's fantastic.
Bottom of the first inning here, Aces trail 2-0, and they'll be facing Riley Yateman, 17-year-old making his debut. He signed a pro contract with the Padres. Big numbers with the East Torrens club in SA, and see what he can do. Always exciting to see a youngster in action, and he'll be up against Aiden Willis, who started out really hot in the first game with a couple of hits, but struggled yesterday. He's 2 for 8 across the series. That's blooped into center field. That might get down, and it does. Leadoff hit. Aiden Willis is back. That's a little luck. That'll help.
Yeah, you know, the great Branch Rickey said, luck is a residue of hard work and good planning. You know, the man who founded the minor league system with the Cardinals signed Jackie Robinson, and we had that nice interview the other day with Aiden, and such a class act, that kid. He deserved that hit for all
Absolutely.
He's put in. Yeah.
Darryl George now 3 for 7 across the series, was robbed of that potential extra bases by Partington yesterday, hit to the warning track.
You rightly said play the series.
Yeah, I think so. That's grounded sharply down third. Going to be a tough play for Liam Bull. He comes up with it. Big throw to first. That's a heck of a play by a young kid.
Yeah, gosh. that was an Aces player, I think I'd high-five you. But duly impressed. Wow, bobbles it and still makes the throw. Wow.
Yeah, I saw the bobble and I thought, no way he's going to make that play. George doesn't run badly. Here's a replay. Have a look at it.
Oh. There's a Grateful Dead. Sorry to hear that Playing in the Sand concert got canceled in Mexico. All the people are stranded down there. Unfortunately, the Dead won't be playing.
It's one of those times we're living in. As Jack Barry steps in, he's having a decent series, 3 for 7. And as we mentioned, playing really well in the field.
Yeah, no batting gloves on this guy. Old-timey.
Strike one.
I guess with the sensible step to have the body armor on the elbow. We'll stay with the modern times when we need to.
Yes.
And the batting helmet.
Yeah, that's right.
But I like, what do they say? I like the cut of his jib.
Cut of his jib. One out. Runner on second. Yateman, the youngster, delivers. Barry fouls that away. 2 quick strikes.
Yeah, look, in that situation, he had a pitch there, and he looks like he was trying to pull it and drive it. And I think if he would have waited back and thought situationally, this is, you look at where the infield's playing. Of course, he's a pull hitter, but if he can somehow sneak that one over to the right side, and that's where the pitch was at.
There's Bull bobbling it and then making that long throw, too. He's over by the foul line.
Heck of a throw.
Sure was.
But anything to get it to the right side. I know that's not necessarily his game, but runner on second, we just need to play run by run here. Advance the runners.
Yateman to the breaking ball. Runner goes. Out at first.
You know what? Still a productive at bat.
Yes.
We got the runner to third. Any way you can. Now a bobble, pass, bobble in the infield, pass ball, opportunity to score.
Willis
cut the
moves
lead in
to
half.
third, yep. But strikeouts have been an issue for the Aces, Rob. No doubt about it.
Goodness, what did we have? 15 last night. Yeah. So we're going to have to do a little bit better. Got to put the ball in play to make things happen.
Here's Kyle Perkins now, the catcher, 1 for 7 across the series. Single here or a wild pitch.
Nice work by Edwards on the block.
Sure was. Sure was.
And you know who the good catchers are. They might let a few by, but when there's a runner on third and nothing gets by, that tells you what they're made of.
That also almost gets by. Again, a decent block. Yateman having a few little control problems. A skinny kid, 17.
Yeah. Our 17-year-old throws harder and is bigger.
Talking, of course, about Genevieve Beacom. What a night last night. Kind of had to decompress and look at all the social media when I got home last night. Getting a lot of attention, and rightly so. That one's low as well. So 3 quick balls here on Kyle Perkins.
Yeah, we knew it was a night. We knew it was special. And
yeah.
But, we're also just calling a ball game here in our local town and that sort of thing. And to see the attention it's gotten is just the texts I've gotten from around the world has been really cool.
3-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Interesting they green-lit him on that.
Well, he connects.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was told not to say if.
That one's inside. There's the first walk of the game. Perkins shuffles off to first. And now if anyone needs a hit, Rob, it's this man, Jared Cruz. He's 0 for 5 and has 4 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He's due.
Solid as a rock at short.
Now's
his moment.
Yep. Aces down 2-0. Runners on the corners. Strike one.
Right there.
Right down the middle.
Best pitch in baseball, strike one. Save you a lot of heartaches.
I do like that. Cruz hits that hard down the right field line, but foul over the top of the all-star bar down there.
Yeah, good contact on that, just a little bit late.
All-star bar down the right field line. There's a bar down the left field line where we were earlier today. The guy came to get the beer line fixed up, said, hey, enjoy your beers. I don't think he knew we were working. So no, not now, maybe later. Cruz hits that up the middle, but it's going to be played by McConnell, and he flicks it over to Barry, and that ends the inning. So 1 hit for the Aces. Willis gets the third, but no runs. We're through 1 inning. Adelaide lead Melbourne 2-0.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum
Grab a gelato.
and have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Ramones pumping through the sound system. Kids having a ball. Only one not happy at the moment, the Aces. They trail 2-0 in Game 3 of the Melbourne Challenge here at the ballpark. Adelaide gets 2 in the first inning with a blast over the right field fence by Donald Lutz. And now it's Mitch Lightbody. He's back in after playing in Game 1. He's 1 for 3 in that opening game. He's DHing tonight.
Yeah, he felt like Lutz was going to let loose one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or at least one of those two between him and Wingrove.
Lightbody, 6 years with the Adelaide Giants. First pitch of ball. Second one, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Probably not your classic DH. Didn't he play second base the other night? Yeah.
He did. Well, I think it's, again, about that roster thing, isn't it? You've got Marcus Graham DHing for the Aces. Swing and a miss, way behind that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Should mention we'll be joined a little bit later by Amy McCann, who was in the booth last night for that monumental inning from Genevieve Beacom. That's outside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think she was downstairs when the news crews were here. I'm not sure if she got interviewed or not, but obviously in a role with Baseball Victoria Board and a women's stalwart.
Inside, ball 2. First person I saw when I walked in after Windsor Knox of the Aces was Genevieve. She just happened to walk around. I said, "How you feeling? Did you sleep?" She said, "I was out like a light," which I thought was a good sign. Swing and a miss, got him. Light body goes down, swinging, 1 away. First strikeout of the night.
Really enjoyed
Stephen Chambers.
Apologies. Really enjoyed the interview with her last night too, and just what she said. Look, what message you have for girls out there? Well, don't tell them what sports you can or can't play. If you want to be a baseball player, be a baseball player.
Absolutely. Here's Liam Bull, made that great play at third. He also played in the first game, didn't play yesterday. He was 1 for 3 in Game 1.
Oh, didn't miss by much there, but definitely off the plate.
Chambers delivers. Bull, swing and a miss. 1-1.
I like Chambers' rhythm out there. He just gets up and throws, gets right to it. That keeps your defense on their toes. You're going to get better defensive plays behind you that way, and more strikes.
That's hit hard into left field. Neve is back. He's under it. Makes the play. 2 down.
What's that old expression, a can of corn? I always wondered what that was, and my old high school baseball coach said that back in the day, in the old general stores, they'd have the cans at the top, and they'd have the stick, and they'd push the can off, catch it in the brown paper bag, and hand it to the customer.
That makes perfect sense. I never knew that either. Strikes me as a very Midwest sort of description, but I love that. Here's Max Stagg, right fielder. He's 1 for 7 in the series.
David Rail, have to give my old coach a shout out.
I like it. Strike.
He also taught us how to roll up our sanitary socks into the leg of our pants.
That's popped up into center field, and that'll get things done. 3 up, 3 down for Stephen Chambers. Nice work, and the Melbourne Aces will come to bat, hoping to reduce that 2-0 lead. Now, earlier today, we rolled into the ballpark. There was an exhibition game, or I assume it was, between the Ballarat Royals and Preston Pirates. Here are some of the highlights.
Gosh, this is what it's all about. Oh, I know it's down on the field. Just the excitement there, to play in a facility like this is just, you can't ask for, really as a kid, you can't ask for more.
Did you see the play at home plate?
Oh, yeah, the catcher got cleaned
It
up.
was an incredible
Yeah.
play at home plate where kid was running around. The catcher couldn't hold on to it. They ended up being a collision. Looked like old-time baseball.
Yeah, not malicious by any means. There
No,
it is.
not at all.
Oh, that's not it.
That's a nice slide.
Yeah, it
right
wasn't
there.
malicious. It's just kind of two guys in the wrong place at the wrong time sort of thing, trying to go for the ball, trying to go for the plate. But, yeah, it had that impact, didn't it?
Look at that slide. That's magnificent stuff. So really great to see those guys out here. Grassroots baseball, obviously what it's all about. And fan entertainment is also what it's about. People sitting out there enjoying drinks and food. Beautiful day at the ballpark today. 20-ish degrees, not too hot, not too cool. Nice little breeze, but not too strong. There's some more fans enjoying this. How great to be able to have 3 games of baseball when we weren't sure if we were going to have anything, Rob. Let's be honest. I got the call from Justin Huber. There's that bar out in the left field line. Got the call from Justin saying, keep it under your hat. I think we're going to play 3 games, and here we are.
Yeah, and couldn't ask for a better day to finish it up. And another quick, crisp game, playing 7 innings tonight.
Yes.
So those of you who stay tuned, it's going to be a quick one. Don't go out wandering to weed the garden during the middle of this one. It'll be over before you know it.
Second inning for Riley Yateman, the youngster. He'll face some Aces youngsters, Bertucci, Graham, and Neve. This is Nick Bertucci. Lines out in left field. Leadoff hit for the 2nd inning in a row. Let's see if the Aces can do something with that.
I like that Bertucci. I'll tell you what. 17 years old, swings a bat well, hits the ball hard. And we already talked about his outfield play today from last night.
John Diebel told me, he said the kid has raw power. That's looking at pictures there, the party deck. Great place to watch a game as Bronson Neve steps in. Got a hit in the 9th inning last night.
Really liked our fight late in the game.
Oh, this is Marcus Graham. Apologies. He also got a hit in that 9th inning. 1 for 5 on the series.
Yeah, all the kids were up on the fence, not giving up, and the veterans.
Runner going. That's lined in left field. That's going to be a fair ball. And it is. Bertucci's going to round third. He will score. And it's a run-scoring double for Marcus Graham.
And the fans love it, man. We're here for baseball today.
Graham headed to Arizona Western University next year. Delivers. And it's 2-1. Couple of hits in a row for the Aces. Now comes Bronson Neve. Aces dugout enjoying that.
Oh. Nice frame on him. Look forward to seeing that fill out a bit.
So now Yateman, a little bit of a jam here. That's grounded sharply to third. Bull makes the play. We know he's got a good arm. Rifles it over there, but that's going to advance Graham over to third base.
Boy, Graham played that right, too. He made sure he was in a position he could actually get the base and didn't overcommit too soon and potentially get himself out at third.
Yeah,
well done.
He really did. There's that double from Graham down in the left field corner. Bertucci running pretty well for a big man.
Hey, Sammy Skinner's up.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Sandringham. It's kind of a Sandringham love fest these last 3 days, isn't it? With Genevieve Beacom and Sam Skinner. And
Brett Ralph even drove Wade McCon into the game. He's a Sandringham stalwart as well.
Skinner 1 for 5.
First baseball game I ever saw in Australia was the South Australian Olympic team playing a warm-up game against Sandringham at Sandringham back in 1995.
That's grounded to first. That's going to score a run indeed. Lutz takes it himself, but we got a tie ball game.
I apologize. Wade Cluster, not Wade McConnon. Wade McConnon's in the game. Anyway, Wade was on the team back in the 90s for Sandringham and at the ball game here last night.
The Aces have fought back here and have tied it up in the bottom of the second. Bottom of the order delivering. Now we got Aiden Willis, who singled his first time up. Nice breaking ball from Yateman, strike one.
And that run really got set up by how well Graham ran the bases and found a way to advance to third, so that allowed Skinner to make it a productive out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good heads-up baseball.
It's the little things that win games. It's productive outs. It's smart plays on the bases.
Yep, absolutely.
It's working
right.
quick as a pitcher, so your defense is on track.
Fouled out of play. 1-2 is the count on Aiden Willis. Tried that breaking ball again.
And a lot of it, look, we're doing a great job developing players here in Victoria, too. And a lot of that falls on Damian Shanahan, who's coaching third base for us tonight.
Yep.
Or through the series.
2-2 pitch. That's lined into center field. Partington in, handles it pretty easily out there. He's a good fielder. But the Aces get 2 runs on 2 hits. And we are tied at 2 as we head to the top of the third. Back after this.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Welcome back to a sunny, beautiful Melbourne ballpark. We got a 2-2 game between the Melbourne Aces and the Adelaide Giants. A Dodgers fan and a Cubs fan. How about that? Strange bedfellows watching the game today.
Well, I was in L.A. for the 2017 NLCS when Justin Turner hit the walk-off in Game 2 against the Cubs. That was a tough one. Cubs and Dodgers. Goodness.
Here's Darcy Berry, my man, the 18-year-old headed to North Iowa Community College. 3 for 6 through the series. I think that's the highest average of anyone out here. 500. Takes a ball from Chambers. That's lined to short. Going to take a good play from Jared Cruz. Throws it over on the bounce. Safe. Another hit for Berry. Infield single. 4 for 7 on the series.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, he's just been heads up. He had that base running play, of course, the other night with the lights. That
Yeah.
swim slide to avoid the tag, and then the lights out play, heads up play, lights out play, going to third. Yeah, you've circled his name, and I think duly so. He's a bright young player for the guys in Adelaide.
I don't know much about the North Iowa program, but I think they're getting a good one. Top of the order now, Partington. Grounded out his first time up. First pitch is a strike. Good fielder, this kid. Been impressed with him. Partington.
Yeah, he made that catch in center look easy last inning, by the way, too.
Yeah.
A lot of Jeff Dunn calls strike 2. A lot of times that ball hits straight at you. You can misjudge it and either leave it in front of you or charge too hard. He ran it down well.
Yep. Breaking ball, it's fouled out of play. Count will remain 0-2. Top of the third inning. 2-2 ball game. Pitch to Partington, grounded foul. Shanahan, that's an E on the third base coach right there. I'm going to score that an E.
We'll have to chat to him a little later about that. But we're talking about that's actually the Adelaide third base coach.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
right.
that's all
Sorry,
right. Shannon's is off the hook.
Apologies.
Don't talk about
Shannon.
our development guy. He's part of why Genevieve Beacom has done so well.
My bad. I will take the fine, the clubhouse fine for that one. Breaking ball misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're kind of back where we started, aren't we? 3-game series, game 3, and we're tied.
Yeah.
That one skied into right field down the line. Is it playable? Going to be a tough play, just out of reach as it hits the netting on top of the All-Star bar out there. Seemed to appear that it was going to stay in play, but it didn't.
Yeah. Oh, our guy, Barry, tracking it down.
Yep.
Oh, and then he's running back, the wind blowing his shirt back. You can't see it on the monitor. Oh. Well, I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, he needs to button that.
Yeah.
Go one more button, I think. He's kind of got a Burt Reynolds look going there, I think. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Again, fouled, sort of the exact same spot.
What's the worst Burt Reynolds movie you've seen? No, don't. Let's let that one go.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good ones, though.
Yes. Sorry, that's a rain delay conversation.
We'll do it again, 1-2 to Partington. Breaking ball, gets him looking. Good pitch. 1 away.
Jeff Dunn on the call there. He's putting on the moves today.
Second strikeout of the night for Stephen Chambers. Brings up the dangerous Rickson Wingrove. He doubled in the first, scored on that home run from Donald Lutz.
Yeah, this is the other home run scare here. And boy, the wind's not much wind today. The ball will carry all right.
Yep.
As it did earlier for Lutz.
Misses on the outside corner. Ball 1. Ed Wyatt, Rob Novotny with you here from Melbourne Ballpark. Hope you're enjoying this series as much as we are. That's high. Ball 2. Don't know this officially, but we are hearing that going to play a series in Adelaide and then hopefully, possibly, another one here. But we will see. It's an ever-changing landscape.
Yeah. Let's worry about today. You know, if there's ever a time, let's worry about today.
Absolutely right.
Ooh, nice pitch.
Quick walk there.
Ooh.
To Wingrove. So he'll head down to first base. Barry moves over to second. And Mitch Edwards, the catcher, steps up. He grounded out his first time up. Adelaide looking to reclaim that lead they had. That's grounded to second. Possible double play ball. There's one. Over to first. Got it.
Nicely turned.
And a throw home, but
yeah,
it wasn't necessary because there already was one out. So double play ends the inning. Aces will head to the bottom of the third with the score tied 2-2. Back after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Welcome back. Adelaide has made a pitching change. Craig Barnett will take over from Riley Yateman. Barnett, a late addition here. As we mentioned, there have been a fair few of these because of the COVID situation. Barnett, a right-hander, wearing number 15, will take over from Yateman, who went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, and 1 walk.
And Barnett, another local Victorian product, helping out the Giants through this series. He's from the Barrack Baseball Club, a teammate of Aiden Willis.
Meat of the Aces order coming up here. George, Barry, and Perkins with a score tied 2-2.
From the third innings for the Melbourne Aces, welcome Tal George.
George grounded out his first time up. Just letting you know, we're going to, at some point coming up, we're going to try to get a quick tour of the Aces locker room. See if we can get that technology to work. We've had a very good broadcast. I have no reason to doubt we won't be able to do this, but if it messes up, blame it on me. First pitch on George is a strike. Second one fooled him badly on that. In fact, he falls to his knees.
Boy, probably a moment to just really compliment the crew this weekend.
Been
They've been just fantastic.
Absolutely.
Sportscast Australia, wow, God, what a good job they did.
Yeah, and the late notice for them as well, too, to kind of have to, suddenly you got a game, you know, you don't think you're doing anything, and suddenly you got a 3-game series to do. So, absolutely right. Struck him out. Good stuff from Craig Barnett.
I've been getting comments, the broadcast has been really great. My first instinct was, I must be doing a great job. No, and then I actually watched the broadcast and realized it's the production team that's doing a great job, Ed. They're carrying us. Well, you and the broadcast team are carrying this. It's fantastic. The tech crew.
Jack Barry now struck out his first time up. 3 for 8 across the series. That's fouled out of play. Just off the roof here.
I like this guy, and he likes the Grateful Dead. I'm going to have a chat to him. I was actually at Jerry Garcia's last show in '95 in Chicago.
Is that right?
And of all things, I was at their last show at the reunion in 2015 in Chicago. Just by fluke. Longer story, not for today, but yeah, Grateful Dead.
Well, considering I spent many, many years in Eugene, Oregon, I have plenty to talk about. But we won't do it now.
Yes, yes.
Off broadcast, we can go over a few shows.
Yeah.
1-1 to Jack Barry. Just misses with that one. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. He's hit that hard into center field. Back goes Partington. Back, and the warning track makes the play.
And we just got a little bit of lazy wind. If you can see, if you saw in center of the Japanese flag, we've got multi-nations here in the outfield of participants in what we're doing. And that just was, just blowing in a little bit here, and that might have been the difference to taking it just over the wall. But there's Partington once again making a nice catch on the ball. It's not so easy.
He's killing the Aces out there, isn't he? Long fly, hit it well. You watch on the replay, you do see those flags flying in as Kyle Perkins now steps in. Perkins 1 for 7 with a walk today, previously.
Nice pitch on the corner.
Fouled back, 2 strikes.
Well, it's been such an amazing weekend in so many regards, but I just wanted to note this is the first time ABL baseball has been played since Peter Flintoff passed away. And we'll speak about that a little through the broadcast. I don't want to interrupt the action, but it needs to be noted. Got my big, thick almanac here next to me, the 2012 edition that he gave me.
Yep.
They've been doing that for about 25 years, chronicling all the history of the ABL, how each season went, the We'll go back to the action for a moment.
It's grounded to short. Barry scoops. Throw a little bit high, but that'll get the job done. And we are through 3 innings, and the score remains Adelaide Giants 2, Melbourne Aces 2. Back after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually, oh, and there's also.
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
I'm sorry, still that's.
In Melbourne, you can uncover some of the city's most revered places of significance to Aboriginal people, understand the locals who were and still are central to Aboriginal existence. A lot to learn, a lot to discover in the city of Melbourne. Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. We are going to get that tour of the Aces locker room underway, and I'm Ed White. He's Rob Novotny. I'm going to hand it over to Rob. He'll run you through the play-by-play while I catch up with Dan McGraw.
Thanks, Ed. Gosh, this game's moving along. We're in the 4th inning already in a 7-inning game. We're right in the middle. Gosh, blink and you'll miss it. I hope you didn't head out to weed the garden or do the laundry. We've got a good ball game here, too. 2-2, both teams with 3 hits. And goodness, Donald Lutz is coming to the plate. He just got his 2nd hit of the series over the fence for a home run. And
Now,
Chambers comes
I'm
off.
Jump in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here. Dan, can you hear me down there? Going to get a tour of the dugout, I think. I'm having trouble hearing.
Can you,
Dan. There we go.
can you, oh, there we are. How's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
You're going to play tour guide, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to go see the dugout whenever you guys are ready.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Let's go
1-2
straight to it.
count to
All right,
Lutz.
yeah, it's lovely. They've done a great job around here.
Dan McGraw giving us a tour. You're doing his best, fake getaway tour. Look at that.
Here's the dugout,
Mick
the
Warren,
clubhouse.
great job.
Looks great. Goes all the way around now.
That one's popped
Popped up.
Let's get a look at that play. Daryl George makes the play, 1 away.
Good hustle by Daryl George.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, perfect. So this is all the around the clubhouse. So we've got the couches over here. We got the new fridge out, and we got the shower area. So it's a lovely little area. So
Crisp.
yeah, no, they've done a great job.
Do you guys keep it clean? I know what baseball players are like.
Oh no, there's a lot of boys around here that need a bit of help with that stuff.
That
But yeah, no, it's a great clubhouse.
And is there like a music thing? Does somebody decide what music plays?
Yep, Daryl George is on it, so he's got the control of the stereo system for everyone. So
Do you get your choices in at all, or does Daryl pretty much dominate the whole thing?
no one wants to hear my choices, so everyone's pretty happy with the Daryl's music choices, honestly. So
That one's lined into right field, base hit for Wade McConnell. Dan McGraw giving us a tour of the Aces' brand new locker facilities. And what does that do for a team, Dan? I mean, the fact that this ballpark looks so good, and now you've got upgraded locker rooms as well.
yeah, no, it's fantastic. I mean, guys want to get here early; they can get their work in a lot earlier. They feel comfortable coming in, and just being able to chill around with a lot of the boys and get their work in.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you for the tour. Really appreciate it. We'll get back to the action. Great to see you on the mound the other night. Really well done.
No worries. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of the game and hopefully get a win.
Absolutely right. Thank you very much. Dan McGraw giving us a tour of the new Aces facilities. Rob?
Yeah, nice job, Dan. Well done. So in the meantime, we saw home run threat Donald Lutz pop out, a nice hustling play on the pop-up by Daryl George, and then local Victorian product, Mitch McConnon singled off Stephen Chambers for a base hit to right field. That'll catch up a little bit. One away, runner on first. We got a 2-2 ball game here in the fourth. That hit the front of the plate and popped over. Not a chance for Perkins to block that pitch. So McConnon advances down to second. That's a potential go-ahead run here. That runs a count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Mitch Lightbody, the designated hitter. He played second base on Friday night, sat out last night. Now he's DHing, had a strikeout in his first at-bat thus far.
That hit from McConnon moves him to 3 for 6 as well, so 500 on the series for him.
2 balls, 1 strike. Misses high, runs the count to 3-1. Good situation to get the runner over here, hit something to the right side. Actually a big hole in the right side as well. For a smaller hitter, that's what I'd think about doing. Swings through that, makes it a 3-2 count.
Good pitch.
Yeah. Just overpowered him a bit. Chambers wouldn't mind his 3rd strikeout here if he can. Don't want any productive outs advancing the runner if you can help it. Nice breaking ball in the outer half. Lightbody makes some contact to stay alive. Not really a real hittable pitch there. So we're going to do it again, 3-2, full count.
Just a reminder, too, 7-inning game today.
Chambers comes set. Oh, Cruz makes a nice play. Oh, could not pick the hop. But nonetheless, by keeping the ball in the infield there, what he ends up effectively doing is keeps the runner on third from scoring. So we are still in a double play situation. You don't love being first and third, but it's a lot better than runner on first and a run across the plate. So with 1 away, runners on the corners, that'll bring up Liam Bull, the third baseman. He flew out to left field in his last at-bat.
It's a great scoop by Cruz. That throw to first, tough for Barry, who's made some great plays throughout this series.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do that one, a little too difficult.
Yeah, love Cruz's athleticism. I suppose they have to rule that an error, unfortunately, but it's one of those. It's one of those things where you're good enough to get to a tough ball, therefore, because it's a bad throw, you get an error. But you look at it and go, "Hey, that was a heck of a nice play."
Yeah, tricky one.
Yeah, not an easy throw coming up
No.
from the ground to throw it to. We have a 1-0 count here. Runner goes. Just a bit of a bobble there. Perkins, I think, was going to come up and throw because you want to get the out there. But just a little bit of a bobble, so sometimes discretion is a better part of valor. He held on to the ball, but unfortunately, now with a 1-1 count, we've got runners at second and third, and a hit could score 2.
Yep, and we've got those things we talked about, stolen base, a wild pitch, the error / infield hit, those little things that can come back to haunt you.
Going to ask. Good call. It didn't look like he went from up here.
Agreed.
That runs a count to 2-1. This is one where you might want to think about hitting it to the right side again. Smaller player, you know you're going to advance a runner and score a run with a ground ball to the right side. Or a base hit to the right side. That's going to be in the gap. Willis runs it down, but not before both McConnon and Lightbody score. Big single for the young player Liam Bull, making his debut in the Adelaide uniform, first time against ABL competition. He comes through with 2 big RBIs, and all of a sudden it's a 4-2 ball game.
Yeah, that's a big hit from a young man who showed us some great stuff in the field and now continuing to do it at the plate, 18-year-old South Australian. He made his debut in December.
Oh, in the exhibition game,
in that exhibition game, hit a couple of home runs, but here he delivers with a long 2-run scoring single.
And that brings up Max Stagg. Call of strike 1 on the outside corner. He did a nice job going opposite field. He wasn't trying to pull the ball, and it paid off. Oh, just underneath or just outside the glove of Cruz. Nice diving effort. Another hit for the Giants. Stagg on base. That puts Bull on second, Stagg on first. All of a sudden, they're building a bit of an inning here.
That's 4 hits in a row.
Yeah, I'd be looking in the dugout. Graham, can you come and make me feel a bit better? Graham?
Well, I think you would, in a normal game,
Yeah.
if the Aces weren't so depleted, you'd see action in the bullpen for sure. You'd probably, in fact, see a pitching change.
Yeah.
But the way it is at the moment, and that's part of the reason why we're playing a 7-inning game. You see the Aces bullpen there. There's not a lot of action. There might be a little bit now.
I just want Graham to come out and tell me it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
But that'll bring up, oh, gosh, Darcy Berry. He's had a heck of a series. What is he, 4 for 7?
4 for 7.
Play some nice games at short. Nice plays at short.
That's popped up.
Oh, Jack Berry. Can I say it again? I like the cut of his jib. I hope that's an old expression that hasn't somehow become dated in the wrong way.
I think it's okay.
Okay, but that guy's just a gutsy ball player. Even that one hop that he didn't quite catch across from Cruz, that was an in-between hop, and you just kind of flare your glove off, and sometimes it's going to hit the heel of the glove and not stick.
And you know what? That's a big, big out for Stephen Chambers because, as I said, he'd given up 4 hits in a row. You know, you got a man on first and second, game threatening to potentially blow out.
Yeah, but now with 2 away, we got the top of the order. Jack Partington coming to the plate with a ground out and a strikeout. Chambers misses away. Don't want to fall behind. Top of the order here. You want to make sure you're throwing some strikes. But luckily, you're only 1 out away from getting through the inning. Oh, nice curveball by Chambers. Jeff Dunn in the call. Strike 1. Evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's gutsy. He was not looking curveball there, 0-1. That's a nice time to drop that in there. Just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chambers still dealing. Veteran player, you know he's up for the challenge today. Ooh, nice fastball after curveball, a little bit off speed again, just missing the outside corner. Came with the fastball there, and that made a bit of a difference. Couldn't quite get the bat around on it. Again, we're 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second here in the top of the 4th inning. 4-2 ball game. Just foul tips it. But you know what I'm saying about Graham Lloyd? If Graham Lloyd came and told me it was going to be all right,
yeah.
I would have confidence that his demeanor, his calmness, his stature, he could tell me anything. There could be bombs going off in the background. If he told me it was all right, I'd feel okay.
He is a very calm presence, no doubt about it. Adelaide does have some action in their bullpen.
That's going to drop in. Bertucci keeps it in front of him. Oh, if he could have got it cleanly, he might have had a good throw to the plate with that arm, but unfortunately it just kind of popped out of his glove. Not much you can do there, but
no.
He gave it a good chase, and importantly, he gave it a good chase without letting it get by him, because all of a sudden that's another run across the plate. So, but that is the 5th Adelaide run. We got runners at the corners with 2 outs, and yeah, Rickson Wingrove coming to the plate, and that's always
easy for you to
say.
Very hard name to say. But 8 hits for Adelaide. 5 of them in this inning. So it was the 5th inning yesterday, 4th inning today, proving to be a pretty big inning.
Yeah, goodness gracious.
And now you got to get this guy.
Oh, nice pitch by Chambers. Just the bottom dropped out of that, and Lutz thought it was in his hitting, or Wingrove thought it was in his hitting zone, and it ended up not being for strike 1. Again, we have runners on the corners, 2 out, 5-2 ball game. Home run threat at the plate. Had him played. We had the shift on. Oh, Cruz just beats him to the bag.
Oh,
called him safe.
To be honest with you, I thought it was a dangerous play to try and take it himself. I really thought that as I was watching it. I have to check a replay. Here it comes. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it was close either way. Oh.
Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one where you'd normally have to send it back to New York. In our case, maybe send it back to Sydney.
Yeah, absolutely.
and have a bit of a look. But unfortunately, that's the 6th run across the plate now for these Giants, and their lead is looking giant.
Moilo's come out and had a bit of a word.
Yeah, as you would. As you would.
Yep.
But that, that kind of, the shift was on there as we've done sometimes for Wingrove and Lutz. And that's a little bit of the danger of the shift as well. Look at his foot's on the bag. Yeah. Oh.
He's out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're pseudo-biased, but just looking at that as anyone, it looks like he's there first.
Catcher Mitch Edwards lines softly to Gerald George at third, but not before Adelaide scores 6 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits?
Yeah.
4 runs on 5 hits.
6
hits, 2 left on base. We are in the middle of the 4th, and all of a sudden, it's gone from a 2-2 ball game to a 6-2 lead for the Adelaide Giants. Ace is coming up.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Hey, we're back. We have a pitching change. Jordy Gross on for the Adelaide Giants. Gross has done a fantastic job. He's just really pushed his way up through state ball. You had his record there before. I'm just looking it up myself.
13-0.
13-0 in the state league.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and just speaking to the media guy, he's just one of those guys who just kept pushing his way forward and just made it impossible for him to not be there. And here he is getting to pitch for the Giants. And it shows you if you do your job, you play well in club ball, and you earn your chance. Sometimes you just give them every reason why they can't pick you, and that would be Jordy Gross.
There's a scoreboard here at Melbourne Ballpark. 6-2 in favor of the visitors, the Adelaide Giants. Another big inning. It was a big inning yesterday. It's a big inning today. 4 runs in the top of the 4th. So the Aces need to answer here with Cruz, Bertucci, and Graham coming up against Jordy Gross.
Yeah, and before we get started, I didn't quite finish before. We're talking about the late Peter Flintoff, who died this past winter. He and Adrian Dunn just did such a great job through the years with the Australian Major League Baseball Almanac. Approximately 25 years they've been recording the history of the game, the stats. It's the Bible of Australian professional baseball. And boy, he was a stalwart at the Waverley Club, a lovely guy to have a beer and watch a game with. And he's a big loss to our baseball community, and the ABL certainly would like to remember him here this weekend. But leading off is our shortstop here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That would be number 17, Jared Cruz.
Still really battling, Rob. Needs a hit. 4 strikeouts on the series. He did ground out in the first inning.
Yeah, his talent is so apparent, though. Gross delivers his first pitch, ball 1.
Just needs to get on track.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard in a short series, too, but glad he's
Agreed.
getting some of these at-bats. His athleticism in the field has just been fantastic, and look, his approach at the plate's pretty good, too. Good swing on that one. He's just been a little bit late. It's almost like he's making his decision to swing just that little bit late. He's had some balls he's been fouling off to that side. Now we have a 1-1 count. Again, we got a 6-2 ball game here. And with a 7-inning game, we're running out of time if you're an Aces
big
fan.
lead, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. 2-1. And look, Aces, we got to come back. We got your number 1 fan out there in Adelaide, Steve Smith. He's going to cop it from all the Adelaide guys for weeks on end if we can't come back and win this series. Two-one count. Just a little bit off the end of the bat there. Flies nice and easy to Partington in center for the first out of the inning. I was hoping we get on base because, gosh, Bertucci's been having a real nice series. He singled and scored last time. Yeah, made those great defensive plays yesterday. That'll bring up Nick Bertucci, the right fielder. Singleton scored in his last at bat. Strike one called by Jeff Dunn. Ace is hoping to get something going here, a little bit in the hole. Ball two. I'm sorry, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nick Bertucci. Again, he's 17 years old. Loved watching him take batting practice yesterday. Fouls that one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bertucci followed by Graham, the DH, and if either of them reaches, the left fielder Bronson Neve will bat next. Bertucci swings through that for strike 3. Jordy records his first strikeout. And with 2 away, that'll bring up the designated hitter. He doubled, drove in a run last at bat. Marcus Graham. The young lefty settles in.
Right back to
Gross takes care of it himself. For the Aces, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. A 1-2-3 inning for Jordy Gross in his debut. We're through 5 complete. The Aces trail by a score of 6-2.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Hey, we're in the 5th inning. Final 3 frames of this fantastic series. Thanks again to the City of Melbourne and the State Government of Victoria for bringing the Aces and the Giants together. Fantastic job by Justin Huber and the whole team for making this happen. Gosh, it's gone so fast. Crisp baseball, clean baseball much of the time.
And Stephen Chambers still working. 5th inning, he'll face Donald Lutz, Wade McConnon, and Mitch Lightbody.
Yes. And, of course, Lutz with the homer in the 1st inning, struck the first big blow of the game.
Did.
And we're playing him again with the shift as well. We've got Cruz just directly behind second base. Skinner shifted over. Barry's in his normal spot.
Interesting to find out why the shift was not on in his first at-bat.
Yeah, it was, as you theorized, maybe it's because there was a runner on third and they wanted to keep him honest.
Yeah, that was the thought, yeah.
Because Gerald George is playing at shortstop now. That's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
More action for Adelaide up there. I think they don't know if they'll replace Gross. They got much more pitching depth than the Aces.
Ooh, right on that fastball. You love that he missed it. He had his fastball and he missed it. Nice thing is he kept that a little bit middle away, which made it a little more difficult to pull. That evens up the count at 2-2. Again, we get a 6-2 ball game. Nobody on base, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Chambers with a little off speed there. Lutz fouls it off. Keeps the count at 2-2.
Just see those veteran hitters, can't you? Just staying alive, fouling things off, just being a real pest. You know, some of the younger hitters are much more, eager to swing the bat.
And Chambers hanging in there. Taking the sign from catcher Kyle Perkins. And gets the strikeout. Nice pitch. Right in his kitchen. He'd moved the ball around. He mixed up speeds. All of a sudden he got inside a little high and in under the hands to get that strikeout. Well done by Chambers.
Third strikeout of the night for Chambers. Brings up Wade McConnon.
Ooh. Local boy had a hit and an RBI last time, if memory serves.
Yep.
Actually, he had a hit and scored last time. He did not have the RBI.
He's playing well.
Strike call by Jeff Dunn. That's baseball. It's a bit of a democratic game. You got to get your opportunity, but you have a means to make sure that they don't take you out, and McConnell did that last night. Breaking ball away, misses, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, the highlight of this weekend for me has been the play of some of these youngsters. Just great to see it at this level.
Breaking ball misses away again. And I'm just going to start to work a story in here just because we're running out of time a little bit. Windsor Knox, if you've seen him around the ballpark, the former Aces GM, head of
Hard
commercial
worker,
leagues. Yeah. Heck of a guy.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit down the barrel there. Darryl George makes a play. Made it look maybe a little harder than it was, but it was well struck. But at the end of the day, he made the play. McConnon retired for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter with 2 away, Mitch Lightbody. And I was talking a bit about Windsor Knox, and I'll kind of continue it on. He's the head of commercial these days for the Aces after many years as the GM. I remember the former head of the ABL, Peter Wehrmuth, spoke well of him. Said he was perhaps the hardest working GM he had during his tenure, that he'd do anything you asked, would try anything to help the league and the Aces be successful.
Yep.
Ball 2. 2 balls, no strike. We have 2 away here. Again, Mitch Lightbody at the plate. But I want to recount a story about Windsor in a moment. And gets a breaking ball over. Runs the count to 2-1. But there's the time that, I like how Chambers works. Fouls it off. Evens the count at 2-2. Yeah, Chambers really gets. It's hard to tell a story with Steven Chambers on the mound because he just gets right down to business. So Jordy Gross was a little slower. We may have to finish the story in the next inning. It's 2-2, 2 away. Hopefully the Aces can string together an inning next inning because we are running out of time. Nice pitch. Got him inside, jammed. He tried to pull his hands in, and when he did, he pulled his hands in and got under the ball, popped it up to shortstop Jared Cruz to finish the inning. No runs, 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We're through 5 complete. Aces trail the Giants by a score of 6-2.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually... Oh, and there's also...
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Performance and theater. From live music and comedy to theaters filled with everything from musicals to cabaret, Melbourne is a festival city celebrated in light and after dark.
Very well said, Rob.
Yeah.
It is an amazing city. And as we said, hopefully you get back to normal and get some more of that activity going.
Yeah. Boy, I was telling you before, back in the day, I was looking at maybe taking over a blues club with an old friend of mine, Frank, the wife of Frank Trucchio, Julie. He was a teammate of Deeb's back in the day in the old ABL here at Melbourne Ballpark, back when it was called Altona. Didn't quite do that, probably glad to have not, but that just tells you how live and vibrant the music scene here is in Melbourne.
Absolutely right. And they're looking at Will Corticus, young pitcher for the Adelaide Giants, one of the top-rated junior pitchers in the country for a while, but he had a bad arm injury back in 2019 that set him back a little bit, but now he's coming back with the first-place West Torrens club over in South Australia. So Corticus comes on, replaces the other youngster, Jordy Gross, who pitched pretty well.
Yeah, look, he's made the most of his opportunities, hasn't he?
Sure has.
Yeah, and Corticus will face the 8-9-1 for the Aces, starting off with left fielder Bronson Neve, then Sammy Skinner, who had that nice productive out last inning, and then, we'll get up to Aiden Willis in the top of the order after that.
Only 3 hits for the Aces. So the pitching from the youngsters, Yateman, Barnett, Gross, and has been exceptional.
Yes. Whew. Ball one high. And on the chance this is a quick inning, I had a nice story I wanted to tell about Windsor Knox. Boy, about 8 years ago we had out. Corticus delivers high and in on the hands. This might down the line, giving chase. Might drop in. No, it's going to be an easy catch for the left fielder, Rickson Wingrove, for the first out of the inning. Next up, we have the second baseman, Sammy Skinner. Had the RBI in the productive out in his last at bat.
All right, you're going to have to get through this Windsor Knox story.
Oh,
you're going to have to get through it
gotta
now
get
or
through
drop
it.
it.
So, all right, so Ozzie Guillen is in town.
Yes.
Lovely trip out to Perth.
Yep.
Lovely trip here in Melbourne. The reception was fantastic in Perth. Pretty good here in Melbourne as well.
Yep.
And Windsor Knox decides, I want to sign Ozzie Guillen to be the manager of the Melbourne Aces. So we had a nice Masters baseball game out at the Springvale Club, organized by the Aces' Mick Wern. And Ozzie indeed played first base in that game. It was a lot of fun. I played second. Ozzie played first. It was really a thrill to kind of throw the ball across to one of your heroes, make a few plays. But at the end of the game, there's Windsor Knox with the number 13 Melbourne Aces jersey. And he invites on Ozzie Guillen to be the manager of the Melbourne Aces. Ozzie said he would think about it. It got out on social media, and much as we've seen over the last 24 hours, the excitement about Genevieve, all of a sudden baseball in Victoria and the Melbourne Aces were the center of attention in the baseball world for one news cycle, and that was a nice brainchild by Windsor Knox, and just some of the bold moves you need to make to put your ball club on the map and make a difference. Hey, yeah, right, Sammy Skinner got his first hit. That guy has been battling every pitch, every at-bat throughout the series. And speaking of Windsor Knox and Sandringham, there's Sammy Skinner going in and getting a hit. Fantastic.
He got a hit. I'm going to correct you on that. That's his second hit. He got one late last night.
Did he? Oh, yes, he did. I do apologize.
No. It's I love the excitement. I mean, we love to see a young kid do this, and that's a remarkable. He started out looking way overmatched in his first appearance, but starting to look like he belongs.
Ooh, down the line, fair bit foul on that one. But we got the makings of a rally here. A good young hitter here, Aiden Willis up to bat from the Barrack Baseball Club here locally. He's down one strike, but he's had some really good patient at-bats through the series, and let's see if one of them pays off here. Ooh, gets him with the breaking ball. Suddenly he's down 0-2.
It's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Corticus.
But we're just late in the game here. Oh, just seeing walking up our Cubs and Dodgers fans together, finding peace and harmony at the Aces.
Yeah. Because the guy's a Pirates hat on, too, so I think it's dubious.
Wear what you got, I think. Oh, that ball was a little off the plate, but Aiden wasn't going to let it get by. That was a 0-2 pitch just off the outside corner. He fouled it off to stay alive. And, again, this guy's been having good at-bats, and that swing represents that again. Corticus delivers. All right, he sits back in the breaking ball. Going to drift foul, unfortunately. But, again, he waited back. He wasn't fooled by the pitch. He just got a little bit ahead of it.
Gee, straighten that out. And he's touching them all.
Yeah, I must have missed Sammy's hit last night. It must have been when I was down getting the interview.
It would have been, the ninth inning sort of rally where all the youngsters got hits.
Hey, look at Willis's battling. Got in on his hands a little bit with the fastball. He was able to foul it off. I guess at the end of the day, Corticus isn't overpowering. But, he's mixing up the breaking the ball and the fastball well and spotting the ball pretty well, too. Skinner leads off first. Breaking ball. Willis waits back. That might drop in. Nope, it's going to be caught by the shortstop. Darcy Berry again. That's always hard, that one over. It wasn't quite over his shoulder, but for
Yeah.
the infielder going back, that's one of the harder balls to catch in the game. And, Darcy handled it well. But that's 2 away now for the Aces, and we're starting to run out of time here a little bit. That'll bring up the veteran third baseman, Daryl George.
Should mention, too, Rob, that this will be your last inning. You're going to step out, get ready to do a post-game interview. Amy McCann's going to join me for the last 2, but it's been great. Really enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll do it again in a few weeks' time if that happens.
Yeah, it's
we'll
been
see how we go.
It's been a pleasure to work with you and with Amy, my old teammate Amy from the day. Ooh, strike in the outside corner. Nice pitch. Corticus dialed it up there, too.
That had a little heat on it.
Yeah, and indeed it did. Yeah, really, Amy, while I'm in the booth with you, I'm thinking 20 years ago, I was honored to coach you in the Australian program, and to see the depth and breadth of your career and what you've done for the sport has just been fantastic. Really proud of you. Not that I can take any credit, but really I just want to say thanks for having me along for the ride for a little while. You're a good
she's
person.
Been a great addition to the booth. I've really enjoyed working with both of you guys.
Yeah, Ed, you've made it really, Amy and I were speaking of this, you've made it so easy for us to come in and potentially look good in a few different moments. So
I do
thanks,
my
buddy.
best.
Yeah.
No worries.
Breaking ball to George. That'll run the count to 2-1.
Should mention again, in case you're just joining or forgot, it's a 7-inning game, so only a couple more chances for the Aces to claw back that 6-2 deficit.
2-1 count. George fouls it off. Had the English on it. You wondered if it might somehow stay fair, but luckily not.
It's one of those really short hits if he was able to beat it out.
Oh, Corticus was off the mound, though. He was ready.
Yeah, you're right.
He's here to pitch. He's here to play. And then, again, that gets back to the heart of this series. I think we're all just so happy to be here, the players, the coaches, the vibe from as soon as the gates open on Friday night, the turnout we've had in spite of some bad weather and COVID. I think it just shows how much the community's been hungry for a series like this. And yeah, so lucky for all of us that it exists. But now that's a 2-2 count on George, 2 away. Again, we got Sammy Skinner at first base. He won't be going because we're down by so many runs at the moment, but let's see what Daryl George can do. Fastball up. That'll run the count full, and keep an eye on Sam Skinner. He's just going to make sure not to get picked off, but he'll be in motion 3-2, 2 outs.
Yep.
So that means that Daryl George, anything, maybe a deep single in the gap or certainly a score on a double. So that's a little bit better chance to get the Aces on the board. Hopefully George can drive one and keep the conga line going, and I wouldn't mind announcing Jack Barry one more time.
Yeah, get a couple runs here, a couple in the 6th, climb right back into this thing.
Hard hit ball. Oh, Liam Bull grabs that nicely. He's been really resilient in this series, too. Had a couple of tough plays early. He came back with a late hit the other night. Yeah, that Liam Bull. Like everybody today. Thanks again for having me.
No worries.
We are through 5 complete innings. No runs on 1 hit, 1 left on base. Aces are trailing the Giants by a score of 6-2.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Top of the 6th inning, Game 3 of the Melbourne Challenge between the Adelaide Giants and the Melbourne Aces. Adelaide winning at the moment 6-2. Melbourne won the first game. Adelaide won the second game and are in control here. Ed Wyatt alongside Amy McCann. Great to have you on board, Amy.
Thank you. Fantastic day here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Great to be back.
Liam Bull, Max Stagg, and Darcy Barry for the Adelaide Giants. Bull with that playing a pretty good third base, and that's a pretty good hit into left field. Continues. Bit of a hot streak. Couple of hits for him. That's 2 in this game. Youngsters from South Australia and Victoria, but really impressed with some of these SA kids, Amy.
Yeah, I caught up with Pete Moylan just before the game, and he was just so impressed in the opportunity about the development, and we see the great program Baseball Victoria has. It's really great to see 3 games now from all the juniors.
This is Max Stagg. He singled his last time up in that big 4th inning. We talked about that, I think, when you were on the other night, that not wanting to give up the big inning, and the Aces have done that yesterday and today.
Yeah, stay away from that crooked number, and I think they put up that 4 spot yesterday. I think it was in the 4th or the 5th inning.
5th yesterday, yeah.
Yes,
Just like that. That's quick.
I don't know whether this is fate or I've just been drawn again down to the bullpen, but I've just seen, I'm not getting too excited, Genevieve Beacom is in the bullpen. Now, Pete Moylan was adamant to me last night, adamant again this morning.
Agreed.
There was a lot of people asking him to get her on the mound, get her on the mound.
This is a double play ball. If we can get there in time, there's 1, there's not 2. We've had so many of those. Just not, so close. 1 away, or 2 away, excuse me. So Barry will be safe at first. 2 down. Top of the order, Jack Partington. He's 1 for 3. He also had a single in that big 4th inning. Gets away from the catcher, runner down to second. Barry is in. We know he's a heads-up base runner, and he takes advantage there as the ball gets away from Perkins. So a runner now in scoring position again, Darcy Barry.
Yeah, the Aces would be keen to hold the Adelaide Giants to no runs here. Obviously, 4 runs, 1 swing of the bat. Can't afford to give up another run. Still got 2 chances.
Now you've got another pitcher up throwing out there. It's number 41, Amy, for the Aces. That's Hayden Peoples from Geelong. So he's now up and may be the option. We were hopeful there for a minute. Partington steps out.
Yeah, I think full credit to Pete. Obviously, we saw a lot of media down here today. The crowd was just so behind Jan. I think we all wanted to see her out here again today, but he's really protective of these young arms. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of innings.
I was saying this to earlier to Rob. She was the first person I saw when I walked in after Windsor Knox, and I said, "How you feeling?" She said, "Good." I said, "Did you sleep?" She said, "Out like a light." I said, no, I probably would have been up all night reliving stuff, but she said no, felt great. Grounder in the hole. That's gonna potentially score a run. Here comes Barry. Might be a play at the plate. Great throw from Neve. Safe. Aces can't take a trick with these close calls. Just can't get it. Good slide and good hustle from Barry. He continues to impress.
He does. He's one of my fan Aces through and through, but one of my favourite Giants. If we have a look at the replay here, I think Bronson didn't expect him to go, but if you looked, he was going for.
He was.
The moment he crack of the bat. I think Bronson a little bit slow on that transition, and bang at the plate. We just missed it. If we had a bit more of a quicker transition there out of the glove, out of the hand from Bronson in left field. But 17, one of the youngest kids out there today. He's only going to learn from plays like that.
So that pushes it out to 7-2. And the dangerous Rickson Wingrove steps in.
Yeah, I was walking around the ground earlier just before coming back in the box, and I was behind home plate when Wingrove hit that ball out to right centre early in the game. He absolutely laced that one to the fence.
That one's fouled out of play, so 2 quick strikes on Wingrove. So Aces will have some work to do here in a 7-inning game. We're in the top of the 6th, but not much time left. to make something happen. That misses.
The Aces continue to play the shift on Wingrove.
Yeah, we've got Cruz right around second base. Wingrove stays alive. Still got Mitch Edwards to come after this. If Wingrove can get on. If you're an Aces fan, you want this shut down right now. That misses way outside. 2-2. Another really good crowd. Often the Sunday crowds drop a little bit, and there certainly aren't as many as here Friday and Saturday, but this is a really good Sunday afternoon crowd.
Yeah.
Misses, and Wingrove has worked it to the full count, 3-2.
Full credit to Justin Huber and the whole Aces staff in putting together this weekend and all the challenges they face with losing players to COVID. It's just been a great weekend of baseball.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. And Wingrove, very patient, grabs a walk, heads down to first, and we'll have runners on first and second for Mitch Edwards. 0 for 3 tonight, hit into a double play. Has a couple of hits in the series, a couple of walks as well too. So he's a pretty patient hitter as well. Big lead at first for Wingrove in the dirt.
Yeah, I was just watching that for a moment. I thought he was doing a bit of a delayed sneaky steal, and I was like, there's a runner on two.
It was a huge lead. He's not being held on, so why not? Fouled back. Count is 1-1.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being back out here at Altona. It's been really great walking through the crowd in this last 4 or 5 innings. The amount of faces, and I wouldn't say old faces, but familiar faces we've known from amongst these people are back because I think people have seen the work that they've done on this ground. It's just a great facility now.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's hit into left field. Neve gets it, makes the play, and that will do it. But Adelaide do push another run across. They lead it 7-2. We'll be back with the Aces in the bottom of the 6th after this.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark, bottom of the 6th inning. Adelaide leading at 7-2. They've made a pitching change, and true to the nature of this series and the way it's been put together, we're told it's Mitch Kennedy. So we're trying to get confirmation on that. He'll be the 5th pitcher used tonight. Aces have used 1. Giants have used 6.
Yeah, I think we saw Mitch Ellis, another replacement player coming in today. It's been obviously, as we touched on a few times, challenging to get people out there. So, yep, confirmation, Mitch Kennedy.
Big right-hander. And I mean big. He's big, bulky.
He's got that low sidearm that we're obviously familiar with Peter Moylan.
Correct. There's some fans enjoying the game. As Amy said, beautiful day at the ballpark.
What's your favourite, under lights or under the sunny skies? Because I'll tell you, the last two, Friday night and Saturday night, I thought couldn't get any better. But I'm out in the sun. I had a nice drink down the third base line. It was good to stay out here all day.
Yeah, I'm mixed. That's a really good question. Jack Barry, Kyle Perkins, Jared Cruz for the Aces here in the top of the bottom of the sixth, and it is a 7-inning game, so Aces running out of opportunities here. That's a slow grounder foul.
So the second baseman went on to Whitfield. Yep. Second baseman went on to the first base side and then turned around.
7-2 lead for the Adelaide Giants. Game 3, the Melbourne Challenge. Ed Wyatt, Amy McCann with you. See if the Aces can get something going here. Kennedy delivers. That's a tough pitch, isn't it?
I don't know what it looks like from the batter's box. It looks filthy from up here.
Did you like facing pitchers that sort of sidearm delivery? They're kind of awkward, isn't it?
We had a few for the Australian team. Madison Leonard, who pitches, well, she's still in the Australian squad at the moment, really horizontal side angle. It's tough.
Barry fouls that one away.
Haven't quite seen any submarine pitches in the women's game, but yeah, a couple of, and particularly the Japanese players,
yes.
They're just so amazing on the mound, and they can move their arm angle basically 90 degrees, and it's in one at bat, and it's fantastic. But yeah, look, it was always tough in the batter's box. It's higher up you go.
Yep, without a doubt. That misses outside. Barry being very patient here. Staying alive. More fans at the ballpark. Beautiful day. Looking at the weather coming into this, we weren't sure we were going to have anything, but it turned out to be the last couple days were great. Here's a pitch, hit high into left field. Back goes Wingrove on the warning track and makes the catch. A long out.
Second warning track power from Jack Barry today. You can see he's just getting under it. We can see that by the flags out in left field is picked up.
Yeah.
Just got under those two. I think the first one I thought was gone, but yeah, that one just a little bit under.
Brings up Kyle Perkins 0 for 1 tonight with a walk in the first inning. He's due for a hit. In fact, not due to be hit, due for a hit. That almost hit him. Ball 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's grounded to short. And Barry. And that actually is not Barry. They've put in a new shortstop, Brock Wells. I was just about to say Barry makes the first mistake he's made all series, and turns out it isn't him. So Perkins reaches on an error. Score that E6. So Wells is in at shortstop. Cruz hits that into left center. Partington over. He's been good all series. Should have no problem with that. And just like that, 2 outs. Yeah, just looking down that list of kids that have impressed me. Partington in center field. We talked about him last night. Bull has really played well at third after a bit of a shaky start. And Barry, who I mentioned, has been my favorite throughout the series for Adelaide. And then for Melbourne, kind of a, little bits of stuff from all the kids. Everyone's been impressive, sort of in their own way. That's grounded sharp right through. Tough inning.
Yeah, another player that's impressed me is a Victorian that was a pickup player for Adelaide in Wade McConnon.
Yes.
We know the McConnon family. I know Kirby McConnon, and it's that's what you want to see. You've seen someone that's come in, there's a lot of COVID floating around and players are getting an opportunity, and he's not a 17-year-old, but he has taken it by the absolute both horns, and he had some absolute lace balls last night, another hit today, but it's the way he's run the base paths as well, it's just really stood out to me. And this is what it's all about. You get that opportunity, you want to take it to wherever you can.
Yeah, could not agree more. He's hitting around 500, same as Barry. And that's a couple of errors in this inning for the replacement shortstop, Brock Wells. Tough inning for him. As Marcus Graham steps in, he doubled in the second, grounded out in the fourth. So opportunity here for Graham. 2 outs.
Just on the talking about the juniors and obviously grassroots baseball, I'm just looking into the crowd right now, and I can see members of the Preston Pirates and Ballarat Royals under-16 teams who played the curtain raiser.
They did.
They're actually walking around in their uniform with rubbish bags helping clean the stadium. That's my favourite moment of the weekend.
That I like. Graham hits that foul down the left field line just over that new bar out there.
Haven't made it down there yet, have we?
It's nice. Oh, we were
We're
there
too far away.
pre-game.
Can we set the booth up there next time?
That's a very good call. I'll talk to the powers that be. It'd be good to call a game for them.
Might
We wouldn't
be
have
a
the
bit
best angle and would be a bit dangerous. Good point.
Fun though.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Graham from Kennedy. Gets in looking, filthy pitch that was close, but called a strike. Aces get a couple men on, but nothing. And we will head to the top of the 7th inning, the final inning here, with the Aces trailing Adelaide 7-2.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Melbourne's laneways are home to a range of world-class restaurants, an eclectic collection of bars, galleries, and boutiques, and, of course, cafes that deliver outstanding coffee. Some of the best coffee in the world, by the way. It's fair to say you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you can discover in the laneways of Melbourne.
Certainly would be a day for it in the lane. If it wasn't out here, I'm telling you, this is better than the laneways today. But Melbourne's laneways, fantastic. Good to see them.
Absolutely, certainly are. Ed White, Eamon McCann with you here as you look at Hayden Peoples taking over. There's your score: Adelaide 7, Melbourne 2. In the top of the 7th, Hayden Peoples, 18, just turned 18 from Geelong. He's tall. He's got an 88 to 89 mile an hour fastball, and John Diebel tells me a pretty good breaking ball as well. So we'll see. We'll have a look at some of that here. Top of the 7th. This is the final inning. Lutz. In fact, we may have a pinch hitter here. Yes, Brody Areola will pinch hit for Donald Lutz.
So Ariel will get the start in the first game of the series on Friday night.
I think he started in center, but then Partington took over, and I don't think Partington's going to give up that position the way he's played it.
No.
That's fouled out of play. 2 quick strikes on Brody Areola. Brody Areola, 20-year-old, plays for Port Adelaide. That's a little bit wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just having a look around, it appears that Marcus Graham may be behind the plate, taking over for Kyle Perkins. We'll double check that. I believe that is that number 10? I think it is. Graham is a catcher. He's been DHing. So Kyle Perkins may be getting a rest. 2-2 is the count. And that hit him. Just got away from Peoples there. And Brody Ariola. Hard way to do it, but earns his way onto first base.
Good start by Hayden Peoples there. Obviously celebrates his 18th birthday, has Christmas, New Year, and happy birthday, kid. You get the given the ball on the mound in the Challenge Series deciding game.
Now, Brock Wells now steps in to hit in the slot where McConnon was playing. That's hit into center field. It's going to drop for a hit in that tricky spot. Wells atoning for those couple of errors last inning with a base hit. Good stuff from him. And first two men are on against Peoples. Brings up Mitch Lightbody, DH tonight. He's had a single and scored a run. 1 for 3. The last thing you want if you're Melbourne Aces is to have any more runs pushed across here. 7-2 at the moment, which is a big enough deficit. Any more makes it almost impossible. That's in the dirt. I wonder if this is a tougher or an easier spot to come into, Amy. You're down 7-2. You think maybe pressure's not on you. On the other hand, you know, you got a hungry Adelaide team that, you know, ready to put some more runs across. They're feeling pretty confident. And that's lined into center for another hit. Runners are going to hold. Bases will be loaded as...
Yeah, it's tough. It's that old argument, what is pressure? Does it exist? But it's a situation where he's 18 and he's coming in, and the scoreboard obviously isn't in your favour, but you know that he's going to want to, he's got something to prove himself. He wants to, he's got ex-major leaguers on both sides of the dugouts. He wants to show his name, that he's not just there filling in for someone that got pulled out due to COVID. So is he gripping in a little bit too tight? Is he trying to try that little bit too much? And we just see that a couple maybe got left over the plate. And, yeah, look, started off well, that hit by pitch. We know free passes are always going to come back to hurt you.
We talk about that so much, don't we? I know I feel it sounds like a broken record, but those walks, those things like that just kill you. Here's Liam Bull. He's 2 for 3 tonight and done really well at third base. As Rob alluded to earlier, a bit of a shaky start in game 1, but really been impressive since then.
Tell you what, I see his hair coming out from the back of his hat. Just the way he finishes off his pitch there, and I'm seeing bases loaded. I'm thinking Tyler Matzik from the Braves in the postseason. I'm a bit biased, but you know what? He could just go 3 down now and get out of it unscathed.
That's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Double play would be good here. Pop up would be good. Strikeout. That's hit into center field. Willis is going to be able to make the play, but it will probably score a run. Willis makes the catch. Run will score. Runner advances to third, and it's 8-2 with 1 out.
Yeah, it's a great at-bat there. We obviously want to keep it away from the corners and avoid that double play, and he's done more than a minimum job there. And great base running by that second baseman to get the 3. We've got another scoring opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely right. Wells moves over to third. And Max Stagg now, he's 1 for 3, singled in that big 4th inning. So 1 away. Double play gets you out of the inning here. Good pitch. Strike 1.
You see Jack Parry not holding that first base runner on. See whether or not he takes second with that.
Yeah, good point. Oh, that was inside too. Gets away from Graham, but he makes the play. That almost hit Stagg as well. And now you do get that runner advancing down to second. Light body. So runners on second and third now. One out. That takes that double play out of the equation for the moment. And it's a 1-1 count on Max Stagg. Breaking ball. Good pitch, but doesn't get the call. Wow. That's a tough one. 2-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you scatter a few, I guess, outside, it's not going to go your way. So hopefully you can just pull a few more of those.
That's a good pitch. Fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you're an Aces fan, you need an out here. Peoples delivers. Fouled back. Good at-bat from Stagg. These younger hitters putting together some really good at-bats.
Yeah, they're not afraid to swing the bat. They're not looking for those walks. They're doing do or die by the sword, as we like to say.
2-2 count. Runners on second and third. Aces down 8-2. That misses way outside, so we got a full count now on Stagg. Barry is on deck. Got him. Good off-speed pitch. Fooled Stagg. 2 down.
Really impressed with how he came back. Obviously had a few tough pitches. Close call, missed call there, and just coming back there after. But obviously scored a run. We got runs on second and third. We see here from the replay just that inside break there and gets the black on the inside, and that's a tough call. But you know what? Full credit to him.
Yeah, good stuff. Here's Darcy Berry. Single popped up and reached on a fielder's choice. Scored a run in the 6th. Very impressive young man. And that's hit into left field. He continues his torrid streak. Another run comes in. Darcy Berry. I'm going to throw him out there as the MVP of the series. Just quietly. I know I'm biased. I love this kid. Don't know him. Never met him. Love him. Absolutely love him.
No, and you know what? He's just got, you can just see it. You can see a ball player that's got that hustle, and hustle will beat anything most days, and it's just fantastic. You can just see it all the way from up here that he came here wanting to play. He's got the opportunity, and he's taken it. He's wearing that number 1 with pride.
Yeah. So it's 9-2. There are 2 outs. And here's Jack Partington. He's 2 for 4 tonight. He's got a single and double. And he's been one of our favorites in the field. That's foul down the right field line over the all-star bar.
Yeah, Jack took that running catch in the...
You said play of the series.
To my mind, it still is. Off Joel George, who swings a mean bat, and obviously running back, took the ball on the warning track at a field that he's, I'm sure he hasn't played here before. If he has,
that was high over the head of Partington. No, I wouldn't have thought he would.
Yeah, I just think for any...
So that advances. Is that a balk, or we're seeing a run scored and a runner advanced? It was a high pitch. I'm going to just assume that was some sort of a balk. Is that right?
Yeah, advancing both runners there. I'm just trying to work. We have to see the replay of that one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was looking for. 10-2 now. Interesting.
The only thing I can say is potentially it catches interference if the catcher...
That's hit hard to center field. Willis is back. He's got a beat on it. He's going to make the catch. And we are going to get out of the inning after that sort of puzzling thing that added another run. But it's 10-2. That's all we need to know. Actually, we'll watch and see if that sure didn't look like any catcher's interference to me.
Oh, hold on. I think the ball's been lodged in the back net between in front of the
very well
courier
picked up,
seats.
so
Yeah, it's
that
been
advances
lodged, yeah.
it right because the ball got lost. All right, we've solved the mystery. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th after this.
We're thinking of grabbing a bite tonight. Any new places close by?
Well, actually,
And there's also,
Oh,
I think 20's enough.
yeah, that should do us.
Well, anyone who knows me knows I am Mr. Fashion. And whether you're searching for locally made threads, European designer wares, or high street fashion in the city's most fashionable strips are all conveniently connected via grand historic arcades, laneways, and walkways. Melbourne, what a city. Fashion, food, entertainment, just hanging around, you name it. Wonderful, wonderful city. Get out and explore it. Back at the ballpark now, Ed Wyatt alongside Amy McCann. This is it for the Aces. Do they have 8 runs in them?
They do. I believe them. They do. It's warming up here at Altona. Their bats are just warming up too. So,
new pitcher for Adelaide, Nathan van der Linden. 2021 Adelaide Giant of the Year. Normally a reliable middle reliever, but they're throwing him on here in the 7th and final inning of a short game. It's 10-2 in favor of the Giants, and Bronson Neve, the left fielder, is the leadoff batter for the Aces. That's inside. Count is 2-1. We have dispatched our man Rob Novotny down to the field to find someone to interview post-game, and then afterward we're going to run the rest of that Peter Moylan interview after we sign off. So if you want to keep the live stream going, we'll run the rest of that Peter Moylan interview for your benefit. And Neve grabs himself a walk to start the inning. There we go. Rally's got to start somewhere, Amy. Why not that? Here comes Sam Skinner, second baseman. How excited was Rob when Skinner got that hit? His first hit, he's screaming, yo, he got one yesterday. Gotta love the enthusiasm.
yeah, I think Rob's definitely been all aboard the Skinner train, like he's been all aboard the Barry train.
Exactly. I think you're right.
I've been spreading my love a little bit these 3 games. Don't want to hedge my bets on just one.
Nah, that's good. That's very good. That's why we like you. You see the big picture. That's hit into center field. Partington in, makes a play. Well hit ball.
Good baseball all around there. Just pitch, great swing of the bat there from Sam. Just obviously didn't get under it enough, or didn't drop it in. And we saw a really good play going back from Jack Partington last night. He's just shown that he can come in too.
He
looked cool and calm under that whole play.
Here's Aiden Willis. Pops that down the line. Foul. So man on first, Neve. Skinner flew out. Here's Willis and potentially Darryl George after that. Breaking ball, strike, good pitch, quick 0-2 count against Willis. Stays alive, fouls that back off the screen.
Willis has been impressive, obviously, that first game Really impressive. Just another one of these youngsters putting their hand up.
That's hit well into left field, but unfortunately right at Wingrove. 2 down. Got under that a little bit. Left the bat initially. I thought it was going to go a little farther than it did. But it didn't. The Aces down to their final out. Daryl George stepping up. 10-2 is the score. Adelaide really coming alive the last 2 games. They lose the first game 2-1 and then outscore the Aces 17-3 in the next 2. And let's be honest, the Aces have had some very depleted squad and pitching staff, but no excuse. And as we said, the big thing is we got to see some baseball.
We do, and I think obviously Daryl George is beloved in the streets around in Altona. And we've obviously seen a home run from Donald Luntz earlier this game. The crowd would absolutely go nuts if we saw one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's in the dirt. 1-1 count.
We might not have seen the best of Daryl George from the batter's box, but man, he's played some fine defense at third base these 3 games.
Oh, that's sharply hit foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Super guy, Daryl George. And we found out from Dan McGraw on their little tour of the locker room that Daryl George runs the music. He's the music guy.
Doesn't surprise
What he
me.
says goes. I asked Dan if he got his choices ever, and he said, "You don't want to hear my choices." I don't know what that means. I don't know what he listens to. But that's high, 2-2. Great tour of the facilities, though. Beautiful. You know, we talk about what we can see here, but what you can't see is that locker room, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, full credit to Mick Wern
Yep.
under obviously Brett Ralph and the Aces. Those change rooms are schmick.
That's hit into right field. Is it going to be playable? Stagg is over, makes the play, and that is it. 3 flyouts to end the game. Adelaide 10 runs on 13 hits. Aces 2 runs on 4 hits. There were 2 errors, but other than that, a fairly clean game. And the Adelaide Giants win the inaugural Melbourne Challenge. And I see Rob Novotny down. He's got Sam Skinner. We'll just wait until he's ready to go. And he'll tee that up. Look at the Adelaide Giants victorious. Heck of an effort from them. Lose that first game 2-1 and then come back and really blow the Aces away in the last 2 games.
Yeah, but
Great stuff.
How great is it just to have baseball? We obviously, unfortunately, saw the cancellation of the ABL season. So to start the new year, first week of the season, to be here, have Adelaide over here, and just have baseball and have the ABL here. I know we're not playing for competition points, but it's just fantastic.
Yeah, that's the bigger picture, isn't it? It really is the bigger picture that we got to see some baseball. We might get to see some more baseball, and I think Rob is ready to go.
Hey, I'm down in the field with Sammy Skinner, one of my favorite players in the series. I'll tell you what, Sam, how old are you?
18.
Fantastic. And what club do you play at?
I play at Sandringham.
Play locally at the Sandringham Baseball Club, and this is your first experience in an Aces uniform?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Very good, very good. I've loved it, so every minute, loved it all.
So tell me about your experiences. You're batting ninth, playing second base. I've done that a lot in my career. So you're battling through, trying to catch up to the speed of the game, and then you whacked out a hit last night. You whacked out another one today, another line drive in the last inning. What was that experience like? How'd you adjust today?
Well, I think last night, getting my first hit gave me quite a bit of confidence, and then stepping into the box today, with that confidence, made things quite a lot easier. So, yeah.
Talk me through the double play. That was a heck of a double play. You had to go to your left, take kind of an in-between hop on the ball, turn your back to the infield, and get it to second base, and do it quickly enough that you could still turn the double play. Tell us about that play.
Yeah, so I had the ball to my left, and I actually thought I miscaught it, but I ended up having it, turned around, threw to second, and Cruzy it short. He's an athlete, man, so he just, he made the play look a whole much better than it was, so, yeah.
Don't you sell yourself short, young man. That's one of the hardest double plays for a second baseman. It was just fantastic. One last question. You're from Sandringham. So's Genevieve Beacom. It was also her debut yesterday. What was it like to take that journey from club ball to the step to represent the Aces this weekend?
Oh, it was unreal, like what she's doing is just like amazing for the sport, and it's really, really good to see. So well done to her. Hats off to all the rest of the younger boys that played this week, and yeah.
Great job, Sammy. Pleasure, man. Rob Novotny here down on the
Thank
field.
you, Rob
Up to you.
Novotny with
Ed
Sam
and Amy.
Skinner,
Thanks for
one
a
of the
great
many
weekend,
young,
guys.
Players we saw out here today that made this series really, really exciting. So great opportunity for these guys to get some experience, but also a chance to, put on a show, the Aces, and get some fans out here and get back to a little bit of normality. 10-2 the final score here. Any final thoughts, Amy McCann? First of all, let me say it's been a pleasure having you with us, bringing your knowledge of not just the women's game, the entire baseball game. You know it very well. Any final thoughts on this series from you?
No, just, again, how great is it to see baseball back?
Yep.
It's just absolutely fantastic. So full credit to the Melbourne Aces, so Brett Ralph and Justin Huber, everybody who's played a part here, to Peter Moyle and the coaches. So many challenges with COVID, and we all know that's the new normal, and it's just fantastic to see the stadium looking great, sun shining, under lights the last 2 days. Would have loved to have seen scoreline, the fantastic scoreboard looking a little better there for the Melbourne Aces. But you know what? It's that old adage, baseball is the winner. And I'd love to get across to Adelaide. I know the return favour over in Adelaide in a couple of weekends' time. The teams meet up again. So, yeah, full credit to everybody here. It was great to be a part of it. Thank you for having me. It's fantastic to be here. And, yeah, just love being around the ballpark. Who doesn't?
Absolutely right. Also the city of Melbourne and the state of Victoria as well for helping make this possible. Been a great time. Sportscast Australia obviously doing a great job here. We're helping us put that broadcast on. They're true professionals in every sense of the word. Aces lose this one 10-2. Great win for the Adelaide Giants. Should also remind you the Peter Moylan interview that we showed some snippets of at the start. That will be available on the Aces socials at some point in the upcoming week. So keep your eyes on that. Rob chatting with Peter Moylan, making his debut really as the Melbourne Aces manager here. My name is Ed Wyatt. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you very, very soon. Final score, Adelaide 10, Melbourne Aces 2. This has been the Melbourne Challenge. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Over towards Durham. Maybe they're looking at keeping the runner close. That's hit well into right field. Back goes Bertucci. It's gone. We talked about his power, and Donald Lutz delivers, and just like that, Adelaide takes a 2-0 lead. Runner going. That's lined in left field. That's going to be a fair ball, and it is. Bertucci's going to round third. He will score. And it's a run-scoring double for Marcus Graham. That's grounded to first. That's going to score a run indeed. Lutz takes it himself, but we got a tie ball game.
Run with a ground ball to the right side. Or a base hit to the right side. That's going to be in the gap. Willis runs it down, but not before both McConnon and Lightbody score. Big single for the young player. That's going to drop in. Bertucci keeps it in front of him. Oh, if he could have got it cleanly, he might have had a good throw to the plate with that arm, but unfortunately it just kind of popped out of his glove. Not much you can do there, but he gave it a good chase, and importantly, he gave it a good chase without letting it get by him, because all of a sudden that's another run across the plate. So, but that is the fifth Adelaide from catcher Kyle Perkins. And gets the strikeout. Nice pitch. Right in his kitchen. He'd move the ball around.
That's hit into center field. Willis is going to be able to make the play, but it will probably score a run. Willis makes the catch. Run will score. Runner advances to third, and it's 8-2 with one out.
Yeah, it's a great at-bat there.
Obviously. Very impressive young man. And that's hit into left field. He continues his torrid streak. Another run comes in. Darcy Berry. I'm going to throw him out there as the MVP of the series. Just quietly. I know I'm biased. I love this kid. Don't know him. Never met him. Love him. Absolutely love him.
No, and you know what? He's just got, you can just see it. You can see